Okay, here is the second movie for the Wacom tablet. I've already gone to Wacom.com, and my friend had loaned me an Intuos 5 Wacom tablet, and as I'm looking at the back of the tablet right now, it says Intuos 5 a PTH is the model. So what I did was I went to you can't use a tablet without having the driver installed. Okay, so when I had gone over to my system preferences, this wasn't there. There was no Wacom tablet there on the bottom where I'm actually touching. Now I'll close it. I actually went down here to download and install the driver, and installing the driver I was able to choose the Wacom tablet. Right at the bottom it says Wacom Tablet 5 PTH model, and then the operating system was Mac OS X, and then I was able to go to Mac OS X, go to my operating system right up here, and I was able to see about this Mac that I have 10.9.5, so I was able to download this top one by clicking this button. The download driver appeared here, and I just installed it in a couple minutes, and it was all done. Now, you have to do that. Now let me go over to the driver and show you that in the driver, when you click on it, I use my mouse with my right hand, but I use my pen with my left hand, and they make it awful easy. So if you click the touch part of this right here, just leave all these alone. And if you click the pen, just leave them alone unless you want to practice later with having, everything set to normal. The only thing I wanted to make sure was in the function button, I actually wanted to have, where did I go to do that? I had the Intuos tablet here, then I had the function button here. Let me click standard gestures, grip pen, mapping. I think I had it there, yes. Under the pen and under the mapping, I wanted these keys, if you're looking what I'm actually touching right here, I wanted these keys on the right hand side because I don't want my hand rubbing against the keys when they're over on the left hand side. Okay, so you get to tell this where to be. If you're right-handed, you should put the keys on the left hand side. If you're left-handed, you should put the keys on the right hand side. So I did. And everything else I just left as normal. So what I want you to do is, I'm going to hit the B for brush. What I want you to do is to set it up correctly. So what I'm going to do is show you with a regular brush, this is how you actually have it set. So I'm just going to click brush tip shape, and I'm going to go back to shape dynamics, and I'm going to turn the pen pressure off, and I'm going to go to transfer and turn the pen pressure off, and then those are the two things that I want you to see. This is just a normal brush. Look, I'm clicking, oops, I did it again. I'm painting on the wrong layer. Let me Command Z that back and click up to layer 3. I'm painting with red, and I should be painting with white. Let me just hit the X key to transfer those. So look at how I am pushing hard, and soft, and I'm still not getting any kind of pen pressure that I want, okay? Normal brush, let me just tell you, the brush tip shape is on 25 and everything is perfect. Look at our little thing down here. Let me click Command A to select all, and let me hit the delete key to delete. I didn't mean that. Let me Z back. Let me hit Command A to select all, and I need to take this red to a black. I'll bring it back to red in a minute because I want to get rid of what you see on the screen. So I'm going to hit Command Delete and fill it with black. Now, what I want to do is I don't want the brush like this. So I am going to click on Shape Dynamics. And instead of having it go to Control Off, it's going to go to pen pressure. Now, do you see what it did down here automatically? Now, the problem is that the flow at 100%, I can only go and make it thick by pushing hard or by going soft. Meaning, it's still at, it's not fading out on both sides. So what I have to do is I have to go to transfer, and on transfer I have to put it on pen pressure. Now, do you see how it automatically made it go hard or full control in the middle? Look at, if I touch it, look at how I'm going really hard in the middle and then letting go of the pen. Now look at how much pressure, look at how much control that I have over this. Let me hit Command Delete again. Look at, if I start this, look at how I can go hard and then soft. And look at how you can, by varying the heaviness of how you're pushing on the tablet, you're going to a thick brush versus a thin brush. Command Delete. And now let me hit the bracket key to up the size of my brush. I can still go very thin to very thick. That's pretty amazing. And if I right hand click on the brush, meaning I can go over here and right hand click, I can actually take it and vary, the hardness still. But I like painting at a softer brush, somewhere around 20 to 0%. So I'll hit the return key to accept that. Now, what I wanted you to see was if you do turn on transfer and the minimum weight or the minimum thickness on the end is on 60, look at how if I push up the minimum, it actually doesn't allow me to fade it out on both sides. So make sure that you're within like 0% on the transfer mode for the pen pressure. And on shape dynamics, make sure that the minimum diameter is on 0. Look at how if you have it on, I'll put the brush on all the way hard so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me go, well, not all the way hard, but see how it's thick on both sides? See how I would never be able to get the brush to actually thin itself down to nothing? That is under shape dynamics, and make sure that the minimum diameter is all the way to 0. Now, definitely don't paint. I've told you not to paint at all the way hard. I'm going to go all the way soft. Now I have a perfect brush. Let me hit Command Delete again, and there is my perfect brush. And that's how I'm going to paint for you. But I am going to dial it down when I go to red. Now let me put this at an apple red. Let me turn this off. Let me make a new layer above this, and I'm going to throw away this layer. Now let me make a new layer above my apple, and what I want to do, and I've turned the apple down just so you can see, I had it at 100%. I'm going to turn it down to about 50% because I have to show you something very, very cool about Photoshop. If I grab a dark red, so I just put it up at red and I grab a very dark red for the texture, and I dial down the size of the brush, do you see how I can actually paint? I was painting on the wrong layer. I have to click up to layer 4. I'm glad I made that mistake in front of you. But do you see how it's not real convenient for me to use vertical strokes to paint this angle? I would rather paint them with my left hand on this angle. Look at how much more control I have at this angle. Now I'm going to hit Command A to select all, and I'm going to hit the delete key and delete those off. Photoshop did something really cool, and I want to show it to you. If you tap the R key, you get a rotate. And I can actually rotate the canvas. I'm only rotating my ability to paint on the canvas. I did not rotate the artwork or the canvas. Look at over here in the layer palette how it still is the normal rotation. Now, what I can do is hit the B key and I can start to paint. Look at how I can paint with the natural flow of my artistic hand. I can paint my texture the way that I want. I can even go straight. Now, when it comes to doing the other side, I want to flip the whole apple. Let me just keep on painting until I'm kind of happy with my texture. Now, you're going to think that looks awful, but I'm going to tell you that doesn't look awful. Let me come up to the sides of the brush here. Let me now get the top, and let me work this down a little bit. Let's come around here and work this down. Okay, that's good. Now, I'm going to tap the R key. I'm now going to move it around the other way. I'm going to hit the B key and I'm going to start painting. Now look at how fast I was able to actually put the canvas in the position that I wanted. And look at the layer palette. It did not move. It did not move. It's beautiful. It's at the normal rotation. And now I'm almost done with most of my little texture. It doesn't take long. And you're going to think that it's I don't even care about going outside. I don't even care about painting out here because a layer mask will stop you from seeing any of that. Now, watch how I can hit the R button, tap it, put this back at reset the view, turn the apple back up to 100% value. Look at how gorgeous that looks on there. And all I have to do is take a layer mask, and I'll show you later when I'm actually painting how this will actually go away. No problem. I don't care about getting stuff out here. I'm going to hit the B key so I don't rotate the canvas. Now, if I take layer 4 and I reduce the opacity, look at how that just melts into the apple. Look at how it just becomes background texture on the apple. And if I turn off layer 4 and I zoom in, look at how beautiful that's going to look. let me just zoom in a little bit. Look at how you can see the texture underneath here. And that's absolutely gorgeous on the apple. Let me hit the F key to put that at full screen, and then let me hold the space bar and just move it up, and let's go up 1 magnification, and now I can see it. Now, I'm ready to start painting, okay? But remember, if you're going to get a Wacom tablet, you have to install the driver. To install the driver, just go to wacom.com and then find the name of the tablet, and it probably came with a CD. You almost don't even need the CD that came with the tablet. Just go to Wacom and go to the install the correct driver, and you're ready to go. Now I am going to show you a solution for you who do not have a Wacom tablet. I'm going to have one layer of texture with a Wacom. I'm going to have one layer of texture I'm going to do with a mouse. So it still is very possible to paint this apple with a mouse. Okay, so let's go on to the next movie and let's actually paint our apple.